Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So I'm in the upper garage. I'd love to be calling it a shop, but it's kind of a garage because there's more storage than shop here. And kind of cleaning it up and kind of going from project to project. As I'm doing that, trying to make some progress on finishing them up. And I uncovered this generator again. Obviously it's a Champion, 4,000 watts, 3,500 continuous. A friend of mine gave me this, and it had very low hours, and it still is rock hard seized. So we opened it up and took a look at it, and it's like, wow, this thing has so few hours on it, and it is so rock hard seized, right? I mean, there was absolutely no movement. You couldn't turn the crank at all. And my experience is they normally, if they're on their way to doing that, they normally throw a rod first. And so I caught up with my buddy again, and I said, come on, what's really the story with this generator? How did it seize? And he said, well, I broke the string on it. And I said, yeah, I saw that the string was broken, and that made sense. You know, I guess it was seized and you broke the string. He goes, no, I broke the string first. I said, okay, why not fix the string? He goes, well, I was kind of in a hurry. So, string's broken, right? Let's put this back on there for a moment. So he took the recoil off, and he exposed the front of the engine. And by the way, to get this cover off, 4 bolts, get the recoil off, 3 bolts, right? I mean, you guys could sort your way through that. You don't need to watch me do it. So he goes, anyway, so I had my air driver, right? In this case, I have the electric half-inch one here. And he goes, I figured rather than go through all the trouble of fixing the recoil, I'd just, you know, put my air gun to it and impact it round and round, and it would all be good. And he said, and I'm doing that, and at first it was turning over nice, and then gradually it slowed down and just stopped. And I'm like, oh, let me take another look at this. So I spun the bolt off, right? Not hard to do. To get this part off was not easy. It was really smashed on there. So I actually had to use a puller to do that, right? A little block and a puller to get this thing out loose enough to the point where I could get it off. Then this comes right off, and lo and behold, what do I discover? It appears as if the flywheel might not be any good anymore. I don't know, maybe I could tack weld it. I'm kidding, this is quite done. So, yep, it cracked right where the keyway is, and it's done. Actually, the keyway feels like it's still good. So, now that that's kind of out of the way, and no, I'm not going to use my impact gun. Let's see if we can't. Oh, look at that! It turns. And when my wrist is killing me tomorrow, make sure you guys remind me what I did to it. Anyway, you guys can see it turns over again. So, there's a word of advice here. Never, ever, ever use your impact gun to tighten your flywheel nut. Because if you do, bad things happen. Now, given that this is such a low hour generator, I'm going to go through the trouble of getting it fired up. But I have to stop here for the moment because I have to do a couple of things. First thing I need to do is see what the story is on the flywheel. If I could get one of those delivered to the house for, you know, $10 or something like that, right, I won't bother opening up another engine to get parts out of, right? Might as well keep a running engine intact. So that's first of all. Second of all, tomorrow is the what is it? Hudson Valley Old Equipment Auction. It's upstate a little bit. Kinderhook area, Germantown, you know, just inland from the Hudson, on the east side of the Hudson. So anyway, I'm going up to those auctions, and normally these generators go for virtually nothing there. So, because they're blown up. So if I can find one of these there where I can once again get the flywheel off for $5 or $10, right? Or I'll buy the whole generator, then I'll take the flywheel off for $5 or $10 and fix it that way. This thing is worth fixing because it once again, it virtually has no hours on it. So if I can get it started and only spend, you know, $5 on it, it was a gift. I mean, these things are worth $150 typically to somebody who needs a generator, especially if the weather isn't good. It is pull start only. I don't see an electric starter on it anywhere. It's low hour. I mean, these things work. Are they great? No. And by the way, it says 3,500 watts continuous right there. I probably wouldn't go much over 2,000, 2,500. You know, if you buy a really good generator, you know, something like a Honda made by Honda, not one of these with a Honda motor on it. I mean, a really good, like a Honda generator, or, you know, one of the other name brands out there. Made in America, made in Japan, not made in China. You could probably get away with running your rated current, rated wattage all day long, all night long, forever and ever and ever. Like the old military stuff. Typically that stuff, I mean, you can run that right to the rated forever, and it will take it. But if you have one of these, once again, and it says 3,500 watts, if you want it to last the entire blackout, you might consider loading it more toward, you know, 2,000 watts, 2,500 on the outside. Anyway, so I'm gonna post this video today. Anybody up in my area, it's old time machinery or old time equipment. They have an auction, once again, Kinderhook, Germantown, that area, just up the Hudson a little bit. You know, it's above Poughkeepsie, obviously. I can't remember exactly the name of the town. I'll be there. Today is not a bad day, which means there's plenty of stuff that's going to show up there. But tomorrow, it's supposed to rain. It's actually supposed to be a real kind of cruddy day for an auction. So a great day to buy, right? It might not be a good day to sell, but it'll be a great day to buy. So that's what my plan is. Get to that auction and see what I could find. The one bad thing about tearing these apart is it took up a lot less space when it was fully put together. Yeah, I do not have any of these engines, Clone or Honda, in parts, and quite honestly, I don't have any on their way to that. My son's farm needed one for needed the recoil, needed the carburetor, needed the spark plug, and I didn't have time to order those. They needed the sprayer immediately, so we went to Harbor Freight, and I bought. As a matter of fact, that's how I got my payment for the job. Basically, we bought an engine, and I pulled the recoil, the spark plug, the carburetor, and all the loose stuff, fixed their thing, and for payment they gave me the engine. But in the meantime, I found the recoil, I bought a carburetor, and I replaced the spark plug, and I brought that engine. Well, I never started it. It's brand new, so I really rather not tear that apart. I get this thing about tearing apart working things. I really rather not. So anyhow, there's the story. Please, please, please never use an impact gun on one of these. And in the meantime, come meet me at the auction. I'll be hanging out with my buddy Swearing Charlie. You should see some videos from that also. Folks, I want to thank everybody for dropping by to watch, comment, subscribe. Remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.